Hey everyone, I just wanted to do a video about yesterday and the weekend. I tried to do one in the arena, but my phone cut out, so it was a bit of a rush to get. We flew back home after the race yesterday, so it was a bit of a rush after the race to get back to the airport and get home. We got home at 4 a.m. I've not long woke up. I'm knackered. Firstly, I just want to thank you all for supporting me, whether it was sponsorship or the raffle that I did from the gym, maybe even Tammy's raffle. And like I say, those who sponsored me and those who did some sponsorship for me through Dad. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I honestly couldn't have gone if it wasn't for that help. It was a very expensive trip. Um, so really, really big thank you to all of you. And then thank you to everyone that supported me, with the Facebook posts. And a big thank you to Tash and Lynn's, my two sisters, for coming on the trip with me. Um, it's it's um, it's like invaluable to have someone there just cheering, just that little go on was and keep going, push, and just the amount of times I remember on the rower exactly, I looked up and I saw the signs saying push on big rig or whatever it said, and it just gets in your head and it just helps you through them hard moments. So thanks, Linz and Tash. Sorry if I was a bit grumpy leading up to it. um, nah, really big thank you to them too for coming along the trip with me. Um, the race itself, I didn't have any idea what I was on for really. A bit like a lot of the guys I spoke to who were doing their first pro race, the same situation as me. We all sort of said the same thing. Anything between 65 and 70, they'd be over the moon with. Obviously, I've just missed the 70-minute target. It was 1 hour 10 and 37 seconds. Um, the race itself, I've looked back. I'm happy with my first half. I think I got the pacing right, but second half I struggled. At halfway I was on 34 minutes, and I knew from like looking at other people that have done pro 105s that on average they're out halfway on 33. So I knew I needed to be around 33 minutes out at halfway after the burpee. I was out on 34, but I was happy with that, and I was feeling pretty good. But the venue was so hot, and I know a lot of athletes said the same thing. I was absolutely dripping in the warm up. I'm so happy with my runs. Obviously since Cologne, I've probably had two decent. I mean, I've run plenty of times, but I've literally just flicked through my Strava and I've had two good runs since Cologne. Obviously, I was flying with my running pre-Cologne. I've got to get back to that after a little rest. But overall, I'm happy with my runs. I had no niggles, um, which is weird because my Achilles was niggling warming up when I went on the sled push. That panicked me a little bit. But knowing the race, absolutely no niggles, no cramping or nothing. I think I got the hydration right. Sometimes I've gone into races where I feel a bit too full of water, and which I'm surprised at because it was so hot. Other races where I've been too dry, but hydration wise, I felt good. Um, Breakfast probably wasn't good enough, but we had a decent lunch. Sleds, obviously going pro, sleds is the biggest hurdle or obstacle. Um, feel like I paced the sleds good. I come out of the sled push feeling like I could still turn my legs. I was stopping every half length, which was the plan. Um, Felt good with the sleds. I feel like I was still in the mix with my wave there. Maybe out fifth on sled push. I don't know, but it felt like about that. Sled pull, I was happy with. A lot of people had told me to worry about the sled pull more than the sled push going pro, and I probably agree. I think I'm stronger on pull than push. I think I've got a nice smooth technique with it, but yeah, it was different gravy. Um, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have done a bit of snooping and looked at my splits and thought, geez, that's slow compared to open, but you're yet to do a pro, so no, I was happy with the sleds, and like I say, I felt like I could still turn my legs on the runs after. Um, Burpee, I was quite happy with. Maybe Yeah, I was happy enough with the burpee. I knew I wasn't gonna like be quicker on the burpee yesterday than any other day. Burpee is by far the one that lets me down. I should be a lot better on the burpee, but I always struggle on the burpee. But I'm happy with the burpee yesterday, and again, I felt like I could still go pretty well on the run afterwards. The one that got me yesterday was probably, but just all the second half started to just I wouldn't say fade, but it become hard. I'd say the second half, I felt like people were going past me on the run. Um, yeah, definitely. Second half, like my run, it's hard to explain. My runs felt okay, but I could tell that I was no longer the one doing the overtaking. I was the one getting overtaken, if that makes sense. Um, Row felt hard, but happy enough with that, I guess. The the lunges, the farmer's carry was always going to be different. I broke twice. I think I broke twice. I'm sure I did. I broke twice. Um, and the second, when you re-grip the second time, there was absolutely no grip on the handles. By that point, you've lost your chalk, and I was struggling. So then I messed up. I went to put them down in the wrong place. So I lost a few seconds there, but never mind. The lunges are really what had me on the back half. Big difference between 20 and 30. I'm probably disappointed with how the lunges felt on the day because I always use the 30 bag in the gym. I don't think I've ever done a session with 20 bag, not on Sims anyway. So there's work to be done on the lunge, and there's one more thing. The run leading into the lunge, I got into a bit of an argument on the track with some dude. Uh, Heated words were exchanged, and a swipe at my heels was dished out. I managed to keep my cool and turn on into the lunge station instead of throw a left hook. um, so my head had probably gone a little bit going into the lunge, but who knows, maybe that spurred me on. The run after the lunge is always going to be slow. I've looked back and it's actually a quicker run than pre-Cologne with a heavier bag by 10 kilograms. So I'm impressed with that. I'm happy with that. But the problem with where I really felt it was the run going into the lunge and the run coming out of the lunge. That's where I sort of wasn't in panic mode, but I was thinking, crap, this is going to be a hard finish on them wall balls, especially knowing they're heavier. The wall balls I fell to pieces. It was like 7 minutes 20, I think. I had to like take a kneel probably 2 or 3 times, and I remember looking up at my sister and thinking saying I can't finish. Um, it was so hot in there. I sound like I'm making excuses. I thought I was going to faint at one point on the wall balls, hence why I took the knee. Then I had the judge on me. Plenty of now what I've realised was that I don't know if it was a woman or a guy, but telling me to get lower on the squat, but I couldn't understand what they were saying. Yeah, the wall balls was disappointing. I've obviously brought the 9 kilogram wall ball for the gym, and I've found it alright. I usually train on an 8 for the men's open, and then I brought a 10, wanting to be a bit heavier, but the 10 ball I brought was awful. Like there's no grip to it, so I've stopped using it. So then I brought a 9, and I felt good on the 9 in the gym. I've done plenty of compromise wall balls and felt alright. I thought my wall ball I'd have been, to be honest, the thought was that I'd be around 5:30 on the wall ball, so I'm 2 minutes off, which is shocking. I think if the wall balls, I'm sure like when I started I was an hour and 4, so I was thinking at this point, if I'm around the 5 minute mark, I'm on for 109. I sort of got to the wall balls at 1:30, but I give myself 20 sort of seconds just to try and get my head clear. So I think if the wall balls could have been okay, I'd have probably been on for a 109. I know what I've got to work on. The truth is, you got to work on it all. So there's no point. There's no point in anyone saying I know what I've got to work on. You've got to work on it all. It's simple as that. I've got to be happy with that really because I've not really got going since Cologne. I suppose I've tried to keep going, but not got going is the truth. The Achilles has been playing me up, and hamstrings have been playing me up. I'm looking forward to a bit of rest now, like 2 weeks I'm not doing a great deal, perhaps just a bit of biking or something. Um, and then I've got to then ask myself now if I'm like sort of kind of felt like I was there taking part, not really pushing for nothing, and like I'm not really about taking part. I'm not gonna be delusional about it. I knew I'd be nowhere near the like top 10 or anything like that. There's some incredible athletes out there. There was one guy that I got talking to after that I didn't actually realise was on Team Wales. Bodger, sound guy. Talked to him at the end. Massive dude. Like I think I just seen on his thing that he's 6'5", but I said to him after his running was brilliant. Like so big and strong on the stations, but able to turn the legs on the run as well for a big guy, big strong guy. And that's what you got to ask yourself now. It's like I've got to be bigger, I've got to be stronger, but I've got to keep the running as well. And that's next level stuff that is. And I've got to now ask myself if that's where I want to go. But I definitely want to break. I felt like I ran dry a bit in the end. I've had a lot of people saying, "Oh, do you not think you're overtraining, Warren?" But I don't want to be rude, but my reply to that would be, "You're you're not where I am. You're not pushing in Hyrox like I am." Um, I'm not trying to slag no one off. I just got a little bit fed up with people saying that. Yeah, so I try not to bitch about no one. If you want to be good at something, it's not going to be easy. And if you're expecting to be good at something and train easy, then you're in for a big shock on the day. But overall, I'm content. I wouldn't say happy. I think like if I just snuck under 110, I'd have probably been happy. But I'm overall I'm content. I'm obviously really disappointed with the wall balls that messed up my time. Um, but no, I'm content. There's a nice rest coming up. I'm looking forward to it, and then there's gonna have to be some changes and some better sessions and better weeks and months leading into Birmingham, which will be my next pro race, October 26th. But I'm really not trying to think about that now because I'm looking forward to a rest. Trying to think what else. Nice, lovely place. Don't hear many people mention South France for holidays, but I would really recommend South France, Nice. The water was I was in the sea on the Friday, I think. The sea was beautiful. Really nice place. Definitely would recommend Nice. Again, thanks Linz and Tash for coming along. I couldn't have done it without you on the day. Linz, you're always my number one supporter, and like we spoke about, be nice to see you at the World Championships next year. I know you had a bit of a disappointing race in Rimini last weekend, but I believe there's still somewhat good in you with Hyrox. I really mean that, and I know what time you can do, and you're not quite there yet, but I think it's coming around, and who knows, maybe next year you'll be there too. If you keep training like you have been, I think you'll be there. I just think you had a bad day last weekend, which you know as well. That's everything. I hope there was a part on the opening ceremony with the big Hyrox dude who started it all that said on about the athletes, you're the faces of Hyrox, you're the ones that are inspiring the next lot. I hope for a little town in the middle of nowhere that I've inspired some of you. And if you think you want a piece of Hyrox, you want to experience it, pop me a message, get involved in Rigorous Gym. I don't really care if it's big-headed or sales pitch, but I really rate my sessions and what we do. I couldn't train like I do for Hyrox in anywhere else in town. That doesn't mean I'm better than anyone in town or anywhere else in town. I've got the right setup. I'm very experienced in Hyrox now. It was my 7th race. And to be, rubbing shoulders with the best. Or perhaps having my shoulders rubbed as they go past me. But no, in all seriousness, if you're interested in Hyrox, I'm your guy and I'm your gym. I wouldn't try and sneak off and do it yourself down the other places. Come see me, and it will be worth it. It's not easy, so if you want easy, that's perhaps not me, but if you want to do well at it, it's hard, then you're gonna need some hard times in your life, and it'll get you ready for it. Like I just said, you ain't gonna do good at nothing that's hard if all you've been doing is fun, easy, and enjoyable. Yeah, we have a laugh down the gym sometimes, but for 60 minutes it's usually hard graft, and then you can have a bit of a laugh and chat after, whatnot. But now, if you're interested in Hyrox, pop me a message. I hope I've inspired some of you. I'm looking forward to a break. You can see I'm tired today. I've obviously not had much sleep really. I suppose I have had a lot of sleep because I've slept through my blabbering. And there's me, here's me medal, by the way, a little medal. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm going to finish quite cheesy. Each and every single one of you has contributed to that in your own little shape, way, and form. And it was running through my head so many times, especially the wall balls and the burpees. Like, trying to think of an example, wall balls. There's a good kid, and it doesn't need to know who. There's a good kid in the gym on the wall balls, and I remember thinking, come on, you know, he can do them, you can do them. Things like that spur you on, and just thinking of all of you back home that have helped get me there, it just pushed me on that a little bit more. So you've all contributed to that medal there. There was times where it was, especially wall balls, tough and close to not finishing, and I couldn't have got there without you all. I've blabbered way too much there. I'm probably have to split this into 3 bloody parts. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I hope I've done you proud. I think I could have done you a bit more proud, but overall I'm content with my first pro race. I know what I can do in Birmingham, and it's going to take a little bit different training, a little bit better training, but some of you already know my target for Birmingham, so go and have a look at my Strava. Well done to everyone else on Team Wales. I didn't really talk to anyone else, if I'm honest. Met some really nice people this weekend, and people I would like to consider friends. If you're ever up around North/Mid Wales, pop me a message. You're welcome to jump in on the gym at any time, and stay in touch. And vice versa, if I'm your way, I'll pop you a message and try and jump in on your gym. If you see me at a race, give me a shout, especially if I'm on the ball balls. Give me a effing keep going or something like that. Yeah, I met some good people this weekend. That was my favourite part of the weekend, was the people I met and the friends I made. And well done to all of you, because that, like I said, that was my 7th race. That was by far the hottest venue I've done it in, and pretty much everyone I spoke to said the same. It was hard. I didn't hear of anyone get a PB. I don't think. I've literally seen one person today double and PB. But single wise, I didn't hear of anyone that was like happy with their race or got a PB. So it was obviously a hard day. The rock zone felt massive. It was like a really well organised rock zone, but it was a long rock zone. Yep, that's me, over and done. Looking forward to a bit of a rest, and again, thank you all for all your support. I've blabbered way too much. Rigorous Gym, Warren Sindon, if you're Welsh Pool, for all your Hyrox training. I'm your boy, and I'm your gym. There's my sales pitch. Don't try and go off and do it on your own. You'll be better for it. Come in to see me. See you soon. I never know what to press.